Cold fog wrapped the abandoned Redford Industrial Park like a wet shroud, muffling every sound except the distant hum of a passing freight train. Detective Logan Hale stepped out of his car and inhaled the cold air that tasted like rust and forgotten secrets. Nights like this always set his nerves on fire. Nights when the city felt like it was holding its breath. Nights when he knew something was terribly wrong before he even saw it. He walked toward the broken loading dock behind the old textile mill, following the faint beam of Jenna Brooks's flashlight. She was kneeling beside a young woman lying unconscious on the cold concrete, her hair plastered to the side of her face, her legs scratched like she'd been running through the dark for miles. "Logan," Jenna said quietly, "you need to see this." Logan knelt. The girl couldn't have been more than 20. She was breathing, barely, and her fingers were clamped so tightly around something that her knuckles had gone bone white. "Miss," Logan said, gently brushing her hair back, "can you hear me?" No response. He carefully opened her hand and froze. It was a public library card, ripped at the corner, soaked from the wet pavement. The name had been scratched out like someone never wanted it read again. Deep gouges, violent, purposeful. But the barcode remained untouched. Someone wanted this to be found. Jenna frowned. Why scratch the name but leave the barcode? It's a message. Or a trap. He pulled a small flashlight from his coat and examined the girl's shoulder. A dark bruise shaped like an oversized thumbprint pressed deep into the skin. Logan inhaled sharply. The mark belonged to the Northside Syndicate, a shadow organization that trafficked in information, stealing, weaponizing, destroying secrets. They didn't need guns when they could ruin an entire life with a single leaked file. Logan had tried to take them down 5 years ago, but the case disappeared. Witnesses vanished, evidence burned. His captain removed him from the investigation for his own safety. He never forgot the mark. "Logan," Jenna said gently, "you know something." "I do, and we're in deep." Before Jenna could respond, the girl's lips trembled. "Run," she whispered, barely audible. Logan leaned closer. "Run from who?" Her eyes cracked open for only a second, full of terror, like she'd seen something she wasn't meant to survive. He knows," she breathed. Who knows?" Logan urged. But her eyes fluttered shut again, and she slipped back into unconsciousness. The paramedics arrived, loading her onto a stretcher. Logan watched the ambulance disappear into the fog, then turned to the library card sealed in the evidence bag. We traced the barcode. Whoever checked this out last might have crossed the syndicate. And ended up like her, Jenna added. They drove to the Hawthorne City Public Library, the barcode glowing under the fluorescent circulation desk lights. The librarian, an older woman with sharp glasses and sharper gaze, scanned it, and the computer chirped, and a restricted profile opened. "Strange," she murmured. "This card was used 3 days ago by someone who didn't belong to our system." Logan stiffened. "What do you mean?" "This card is linked to a special access database. Only select government employees, law enforcement partners, or, well," she hesitated, "people with clearances." "Who checked out the item?" She clicked a few keys. The screen blinked. A name appeared. Caleb Mathers, Internal Investigations Division. Logan felt the blood drain from his face. Caleb Mathers wasn't just a name. He was one of the most elusive federal auditors in the Northeast, known for digging into corruption cases and disappearing for months at a time. Logan had never met him, only heard his reputation whispered in precinct halls. But there was something else. Caleb Mathers went missing 2 weeks ago. Jenna looked at Logan. "He's dead, isn't he?" "Or worse," Logan replied. The librarian spoke again. "The book he checked out, it wasn't a book." She handed Logan an item retrieval slip. Archive Room B3, Special Collections. Request, case file fragment, redacted. Note, hand delivery required. Logan stared at it. B3 was a restricted archive room. Access required credentials even higher than his. What the hell was Caleb looking for? Jenna muttered. Something worth killing for, Logan said. They requested access to B3. The librarian unlocked the heavy door, which led to a dim basement hallway lined with metal shelves. The air smelled of dust and old paper. Logan moved slowly, his flashlight sweeping across labels. Historical records, legal archives, police scans. Then he reached the end of the aisle and stopped. The cabinet marked Case File Fragments stood open. Inside, a single folder lay on the shelf, empty. Logan's pulse quickened. Someone had beaten them here. "Logan," Jenna whispered. She pointed to the floor. A boot print. Muddy. Fresh. Leading toward the emergency exit. Logan drew his gun. We're not alone. They followed the prints out the back door, into the alley behind the library. The night had grown colder. A distant siren wailed somewhere downtown. Logan crouched, examining the wet footprints. Then a voice echoed from the darkness. "Detective Hale." Logan straightened instantly, gun raised. "Show yourself." A figure stepped out from behind a dumpster, a tall man in a black jacket, hood low over his brow, hands visible, empty. "I'm unarmed," he said. Logan didn't lower the gun. "You're trespassing in a restricted facility. Start talking." He slowly raised his hands. "My name is Dylan Rourke. I worked with Caleb Mathers." Jenna's grip tightened on her flashlight. "Mathers is missing." "I know, because I'm supposed to be missing too." Logan exchanged a glance with Jenna. "What does that mean?" Dylan stepped into the moonlight, revealing a bruise on his shoulder identical to the unconscious girl's. "That mark. That damn mark." "They found me," he said quietly, "just like they found her, but I got away." Logan lowered his gun slightly. "You're saying the Northside Syndicate is after you?" "They're not just after us. They're after anyone who knows what's in that missing file." "And what's in it?" Logan asked. Dylan swallowed. His breath misted in the cold air. "Proof," he whispered. "Proof that the Syndicate isn't just a criminal network. They've infiltrated law enforcement, federal offices, judges, senators. They control everything." Jenna shook her head. "That sounds like paranoia." Dylan stepped closer. "Then why do you think Mathers vanished? Why do you think the girl was dumped like trash? She's Emily Ward, Caleb's assistant. She tried to warn him, and when Caleb realized what he'd uncovered, he hid parts of the file." "Where?" Logan pressed. Dylan's eyes dropped to the library card evidence bag in Logan's hand. "He hid them inside library materials, scattered across the city, because libraries are the last places no one pays attention to." Logan felt the weight of the situation hit him. "What does the barcode lead to next?" Dylan exhaled, trembling. "It leads to the people who took Caleb. And if you follow it, you're not walking into an investigation, Detective Hale." He met Logan's eyes with a hollow stare. "You're walking into a war." Before Logan could respond, a bullet exploded through the air. Dylan jerked, blood spraying across the alley wall as he collapsed to the ground. "Sniper!" Jenna shouted, diving behind a parked truck. Logan dragged Dylan's body behind cover, heart pounding. His eyes were wide, breath shallow, blood pooling around him. "They know you're here," he choked out. "Who? Who fired?" Logan demanded. "Don't trust anyone," Dylan whispered. His eyes glazed over. He was gone. Logan clenched his jaw, rage burning in his chest. He peered around the truck, but the rooftops were silent. Whoever fired was long gone. Jenna knelt beside him. "Logan, what do we do?" Logan stared down at the library card in his hand, its barcode reflecting the alley's faint light. "We finish what Mathers started," he said. "We find every hidden fragment. "And then?" Jenna asked. Logan looked back toward the fog-shrouded city, knowing every shadow now held danger. "We expose the Syndicate, or die trying." The wind shifted, carrying the faint echo of footsteps disappearing into the darkness. Logan tightened his grip on the evidence. Whatever the Syndicate was hiding, it was big enough to kill for.